Hi there, Cruise and Crew here. We're back, coming to you from my improvised shed studio here with a product review, actually. I get emails from time to time of companies wanting me to try out their new products, and most of the time I decline or I ignore it because I think everybody has now seen enough reviews of like lithium batteries or power banks or this and that. So I'm looking for something, if anything, that's really special. And so a few days ago, I got contacted by this company, and this was a product that I thought would be really interesting for maybe nomads, travelers in RVs, or off-gridders. And it is a water purifier. But the cool thing about it is it's actually a reverse osmosis system that's powered by a built-in battery. And I have never seen anything like that. So I said, okay, I want to try this out. So this company, ITEHIL, they sent me the product for review, but it's not a paid review or anything. And they don't have any say in my review. But I truly hope that it's a good product. We'll unpack it, test it out, and I have some ideas on how to test it properly. I actually have also gotten like a special water test kit that has like strips and bacteria tests and all these things. And so we're really gonna put it through its paces. All right, let's unpack this box and see what's inside. Very cool looking unit, that's for sure. Okay, there's a lot going on here. So this is like a carrying handle right there. That's actually a cool idea. Okay, and then we have a box with accessories and other things. Let's see what's in here. Okay, instruction manual. Normally I'm not too much into instruction manuals, but in this case I will study this and then set it up correctly. We also have filter cartridges. So even though it is a reverse osmosis system, it still uses, of course, filters. There's probably like a pre-filter and a main filter device. Yeah, so this is a PP and activated carbon layer. And this one says reverse osmosis membrane filter layer. So I'm also going to look in the instructions on in what intervals these have to be changed, and then find out what the replacement cartridges cost and put that into the description below. Okay, so what else do we have? Some kind of handle here. We'll figure that out later. And then there's a nice carrying pouch here with some more accessories, tubing, stuff like that. Okay, more tubes. Oh, and there seems to be another little filter here for like inlet. That's probably where the water gets sucked into the machine, and it gets like, it's kind of like a sediment filter or something like that. But we'll try all that out when I have set it up. Then there is a USB-C cable, very nice. USB-C is always appreciated, and actually a second one, another USB-C cable. So I don't know if it needs two or if there's a spare, but that's nice. All right, so I'm gonna set this up properly and study the manual, and then I'll tell you more about it, and then we'll start to do some tests. So I just plugged it into USB-C and it started charging with this red light blinking here, and I'm gonna wait until that's fully charged, and then we'll go on to the next test. So this is the hybrid filter, and it's labeled here where it goes. Oh yeah, there's an arrow here. This is the open, and then closed, and that's what this thing is for. I guess it's easier to turn it that way. Push it in, and then it's locked in. Okay, let's do that for the other one as well. All right, there's the arrow. This one says RO. Gotta really push it down. No. Okay. It's all the way in. Also, I thought it was a good idea to maybe take a quick look at the instruction manual here, because it's got some additional info that might be interesting. Both outlets in the front are filtered, but only the right one is the reverse osmosis filter, and that's marked here with drinking water, drinking, cooking, etc. Whereas the wastewater, which is all reverse osmosis systems have wastewater. It's still filtered, but it is the other stuff that it filters out from. And they're calling this domestic water, which they say is good for washing and cleaning. As we've seen in the beginning, there are 2 filter cartridges, and I would assume that at least one of them also filters what comes out of the wastewater. It's kind of like the pre-filter, right? I mean, so it's not like super dirty, but it's definitely stuff that they don't recommend drinking. Up here, interestingly, it mentions how long these filters are supposed to last before you have to replace them. So the hybrid filter apparently is good for 350 gallons, and the reverse osmosis filter is good for up to 650 gallons. I will also cut in here the Amazon listings to see how much these filters cost, so you get a little bit of an idea. It's now a few days later, because I actually wanted to do this test properly, so I got myself another tool. This is a TDS meter, the total dissolved solids, that it measures that. So I want to use that too, and then I have set up the machine right there. So I screwed in the lines. That was fairly easy. The front is kind of an adapter that just plugs in, and then you have these different lines. So this is the input line with that little sediment filter at the end. 2 lines that are coming out of here. The first line, this is actually the wastewater, and then the other one is marked with this white plug at the end, and that one is the reverse osmosis output, and we will put that into new cups. So wow, I started this just now for the first time, and it's sucking in the water much faster than I thought it would. So I will probably, I need to refill the water while it's going down, or devise some other thing. But on the positive side, it's very, very quiet. I filled this now with city water, made the opening here wider so I can fit in that intake. And let's take another look at the TDS meter here. And yeah, so this is even a little bit higher than the first time. 206, 210. So yeah, that is not the best water anyway. So we will take this, put it here, move our intake into there. So I don't have to always like keep refilling. It is running. If I'll take the sample. Here's the clean drinking water. Okay, I'm going to shut this off. And let's see what the TDS meter says about it. Here's the RO cup. And it is reading 17. Well, I would say that's quite an improvement over 210. So 17 is ideal drinking water in terms of the total dissolved solids. So that's definitely a first good test here. So now I will prepare test strips. Let's put some of the city water again into the city water cup. So, city water, reverse osmosis filtered water. So now we're gonna do our test strip. 2 seconds. And put that there. And then the RO water. And put that here, like that. And then let's bring out the color coding here again. Yeah, as we can see, the hardness is off the scale on the city water. It's quite purple. And same down here with the total alkalinity is like green, which is also not good. The pH is just about okay. Not great. It's actually, yeah, I mean, it's an okay range there. And I will go through all the color codes here, even though those probably don't matter quite as much. Okay, so then when we compare the RO water here, let's give that a little bit more room. So the RO water, we have pH looks good. The hardness is definitely very good. It's on the soft side now. And the alkalinity is also basically reads 0, which is like distilled water essentially. And as far as I can tell, all the other values seem to be in the right areas. Everywhere where it's like the blue above the reading, that should be okay. And that looks very good here. So another test, of course, is I actually wanted to try this filtered water from the city water at least. I'm gonna take a sip here. Yeah, it tastes like distilled water essentially. It's a little bit boring, but tastes very, very clean. All right, so I have another test set up here. So this is now to see how much it takes to create 1 gallon of reverse osmosis water. And the way I'm going to do this is that I will fill this up with about 5 gallons of water from our rain barrel, which is right there. And then we'll run it and see how long it takes to fill that 1 gallon up. And we will also see how much wastewater we're generating. And that way we can kind of gauge how that works, how long it runs. I read up that the built-in battery can handle about 7 gallons of reverse osmosis water. So let's test this out. Not surprisingly, almost completely full, since these are 5-gallon buckets. Next step, we'll put the intake in, and there it goes. It takes a while for the reverse osmosis water to start flowing. There's still a little bit of air in the system. And now it's going. See, it takes about 20 seconds, half a minute to really get going. But it is filtering and starting to fill up that gallon jug there. Let's see how long it takes. You can tell again how quiet this is. Okay, I think that's about done. Let's turn it off. That qualifies as a gallon. And as you can see here, the wastewater, I would say, is maybe 1.5. And here's the rainwater. And as you can see, about, I would say, a good 2 gallons have been removed. So maybe it's a 1-to-1 system, which would be very good for reverse osmosis. It's probably because of the pre-filter that's in there that does like some of the heavy lifting. All right, here's our wastewater. Let's see how much we get. It's exactly 1 gallon. So that is actually pretty impressive. 1 gallon wastewater, 1 gallon reverse osmosis filtered. That is really a good result, I would say. All right, so now I'm going to prepare the bacteria test. This is the dirty water. All right. Close that up. Okay, so there we got our dirty water sample. And let's add our water. Close that. Okay, here's our O sample. We'll check in 48 hours and see if that changes color. If it's still kind of yellowish like it is now, it's safe. If it turns greenish, then it will probably contain harmful bacteria, but we'll see. We'll compare the two, the dirty one before the filtering and then the filtered version. All right, so here we are 48 hours later, and let's take a look at the bacteria test. So first, here's the one that I labeled dirty water, which is directly from the rain barrel. And to me, it looks still pretty good. It says here if it's yellowish, no harmful bacteria found. If it's kind of greenish, highly likelihood of harmful bacteria. If anything, there's maybe like a hint of green, but let's compare it to the filtered version. So here's the filtered one, and that one definitely looks more yellow to me than green. So I don't know if that translates here on the camera, but if I hold them side by side, I think that the sample from the rain barrel is just maybe slightly more green than on the right side. So that would make sense. So maybe very lightly contaminated or something. But overall, I think that looks all pretty good. I think we can go on to the conclusion of all the tests here. So my final thoughts about this. A battery-powered reverse osmosis filtration system. That's certainly very cool, and I like it. It's probably not for everyone because of maybe the weight. It's got a little bit of a heft to it. So it's definitely not a system for backpacking. but it could do well in a van, in an RV, or like in an off-grid property where you could create your own filtered water very economically. One thing that I also wanted to mention, the charging port is USB-C, and that means you can probably easily charge it even from like a foldable solar panel that has a USB-C output port. And so you could definitely use this out in the field. I will use it for sure because I have lots of uses for like distilled water, which reverse osmosis is the equivalent to. So I will from now on make my own water that way and not buy distilled water anymore. And so thanks to ITEHIL for sending this out. If you want to find out more about it, I placed some links down below. And yeah, with that, until the next video.